Well, here we are. This is amazing. The fact that I'm going live, just no notes, nothing, just going live. This is amazing. You don't know where I've been on the podcast front over the last few years. This is not something that I would do naturally. And perhaps if you'd seen me yesterday, stammering my way through a conversation with two Church of England ministers, very powerful guys in the language, in the culture. And I was prepared for one. I was right up for communicating with one of them. Two of them sort of stressed me a little bit. Had me rocking back on my heels. I was stammering, but it was a lot of fun. I'm going to tell you about it. We're talking about the conversation that's going on about mission. Just so you know, I was in hospital for 2 weeks, and I sort of became aware of the UK as a mission field in a way in which I hadn't been aware in 20 years of living here in the city of Lancaster. So straight out of the hospital, I organized a mission conference. It's a bit soon, so it's not got sort of huge expectations in terms of numbers. We're able to seat 50 persons, but we'll see how many are actually going to turn up. But what has started is a conversation, and it was never our intention to have a meeting that was an end in itself, but rather that would be a gateway to the churches having a renewed sense of mission, and a collaborative sense of mission, as well a collective sense of mission, and a clarity as to what that mission means, what it looks like, and what is the defining message uh, of that mission. Uh, we know that this message is the gospel, but these days you have to be certain that everyone means the same thing when they use words like the gospel, like discipleship. Um, and alas, we had a bit of a disagreement yesterday, understandable, about the word church, and whether it really was a translation of the word ecclesia. Um, I actually believe that Jesus started something that was so revolutionary, so disruptive, so threatening to the established order, that every word in the Bible could be translated, but not that one. We had to sort of find another word which carried a different idea, a different concept, that made uh, the arrangement that Jesus left behind less toxic, less dangerous. That made it something that could be compatible with the establishment, could be part of the establishment, could be um, you know a great asset for nation building and for building peace and stability and civilization and all this stuff, uh, can be constructed around a religion which has church at its center, rather than a driving, irrepressible movement that has ecclesia at its center, and just doesn't know when to stop, that continues pressing, and just takes over the kingdoms of this world, and the kingdoms of this world become the kingdoms of our God and of his Christ, now leaving no space for any other king. You see, and that's not something that could be tolerated. So I think that there's been a compromise arrangement called church that has grown up. Now history is a very, very messy thing, and once you get into the details, once you get into the details, get into the woods of history, you will be lost. You will be lost, and you will sort of get whatever the particular historians want you to, to get from that particular forest of information. So there's all kinds of nuances. There's all kinds of, this happened specifically in that area then. But there is a broad thrust, which you get by standing back from the details of history, and you can see some themes. I talk a lot about themes when I talk about studying the Bible. There's biblical theology, but there's also systematic theology, and I believe it's a really important thing that we look at the scriptures first of all, and even look at history and so on with a bit of a systematic sort of hat on, where you're looking more at the broad themes of what's happening, but also what's being said, and you're getting the sort of summary positions on things, and that's where I believe need to have some back and forth, some fellowship, so that we can see what the priority of God is, in some of these areas. I love it when Jesus said to his intellectual buddies, he says, he says, how do you read? In other words, have you learned to read and summarize, so that you can provide a summary of the law and the prophets. So that's sort of the approach to a discussion about the church and the ecclesia, and just moving the church into an early church identity, an early church consciousness of what it essentially is, which is a center of operations, that's or sort of central control for mission operations. That's really what church is, and then that tells you how church should be led. That tells you some more about Christ and his leadership, and how that leadership is dispensed through fivefold ministry. It tells you so many things that you can then see from the scriptures, because you've been in that conversation really about church. So the church becomes, if you want it to be what ecclesia is, then it has to be something that is a force that the gates of Hades cannot restrain or withstand. So that's a yeah, we sort of stumbled through some of the ideas and thoughts about that, and I was absolutely riveted. I was shocked when I saw some folks just come into the cafe that we we were sitting in, and made a beeline, for these two guys. Both had sort of crosses on, and neck thing, the collar and so on, and clearly were ministers, and that attracted guys to come over and have a conversation about God. No, I'd never seen that before. And I thought, right, this is my mission field training here. Everybody knows about Britain as a mission force, but sort of no one has um, has taught us what does Britain look like as a mission field. And now I'm saying, okay, so I'm learning, baby. I'm learning, and I understand now so much more from having sat and had and experienced um, the community, interacting with my two friends, specifically because of what they were wearing. Oh, that was amazing. That's absolutely amazing. So I've been learning so much. This has been a tremendous, um, a tremendous conversation. But for me personally, it's a learning experience. I'm learning about Britain as a mission field, and I'm learning through conversing with those who are part of the mission force within Britain. So this afternoon, I'm moving on to the university, where I'm just sort of going to learn again and understand what the Christian presence on university looks like, and see where the openings are for the university to now connect with what's happening in the nation. I mean, it's certainly a happening thing that there's this conversation going on, and just want to make sure that Lancaster and its universities are not left out. Yeah, so we are sort of going to go and make that connection this afternoon. And this morning I connected with a dear brother, hallelujah, named Emmanuel. Um, Emmanuel uh, Ionongu, who is with 2414. I think that's their name, or is it 2414 now? But anyways, Matthew 24:14. This gospel shall be preached to the ends of the earth, and then the end will come. So it's an end time sort of group that is promoting the harvest, but very specifically in Europe, there's a target for the starting of multiplication discipleship movements. And I'll probably share with you at some point how I got involved with that idea. And basically 2414 has sort of cropped up as a long lost brother. In fact, they're the people that have been given the parallel vision to what I've been given. And so there's nothing that I am doing that would make sense if 2414 didn't exist. You understand what I'm saying? So meeting the UK representatives for this group is a big thing. So we are comrades in arms, meeting for the first time. So that happened this morning. Yeah, it's very exciting stuff. On Monday, I met with my wife's niece's husband. Yeah, who is a minister in the Preston area. And so, yeah, we had a great family time, just celebrating the fact that mission was a big part of what our family is all about, And I don't know if he's going to be able to get his church involved, but there are just so many people that are personal friends that may get involved with the conference, but definitely are involved with this conversation. So it's rolling on. It's rolling on. I'm rambling on. Somebody who knows about podcasting is going to have to train me and coach me and correct me. Perhaps I should have written some notes down beforehand. But hey, this is my second go at this, and I trust it's been interesting and engaging. Come back to me with comments and stuff. By the way, I don't know how many people are actually watching this because I don't know about promoting it or whatever. But I can share it out with persons so that it becomes part of the conversation. So God bless you. And I'm off now to pick up some flyers. When I get back, I'm going to finish my taxes. All right. God bless you.